You can hear how often I go live.
No, I'm not.
According to the last update, then no. Okay, I'll just. There we go.
So you're alive, well then I should be able to find you.
Oh, smart thing.
What is it again, your account is?
Mariana at Danish Living. As the officials would say, technical problems. As I would say, stupid.
Of course you would.
It's a bullshit this.
Why can't I find you?
That homemade chocolate thing was my video. Danish Living.
Oh.
I'll try just writing Danish Living, then you'll get in. Because then you're going to start the moment. Oh, there I am. Oh, it is. What?
It is on.
Try and go in on it.
So you are live.
Woohoo! This is confusing. Okay, well, that's good. That's weird, but good.
So we just know that.
It's just the stupid. Like, oh yeah, one view. That must be you that came that good. Maybe I should just do that on my tablet, seeing if it works by going on becoming a viewer myself, so I know. I never thought about that. Now we know.
Technology.
Woohoo!
And what is it the meme goes these days? Technology! Whoops.
Exactly.
How's it going?
It's technology. It's bullshit. Okay, so welcome, guys. As some could see, it is our 9th wedding anniversary today. We have Michael's.
I just went from 1 to 7.
That's what I mean. Now it's working. You see my freaking point? Oh well, 0 views is normal. No, it's not for me. It's like 13 now.
Son of a bitch.
I do have like 82 subscribers, so I do expect. Oh, already one like. Thank you. Anyway, focus, Miranda. Name of the video.
You sure?
Yes. Shut up. I'm trying to say stuff. 9th anniversary. 9th wedding anniversary. This is what I do on my channel every year. I do. I've made a tradition of it, of different themes within it. And this year we have done where we've each taken a Bible verse, or a few Bible verses, that, that has helped us through marriage, and where we want to tell you the Bible verses and how we literally, like, recipe-wise, have used them in our daily lives, so it can help you guys as well. And just to let you know, we have Michael's TikTok running there and my YouTube there, both live. So if we look like we are getting, skin off, then it is because of that. I am both Danish and not Danish. Shut up. My brain is tired. I got a cold, so my brain's not clear.
I really want to say it.
Oh, I already got 3 likes. Thank you guys so much. Well, you're not going to say on this live. No. Give me peace from social media bullshit language.
I'm really considered we are on social media.
So, it's my social media. I decide what's spoken, and that is not that stupid new generation social media crap.
That might be yours. That one's mine.
Close your ears, people. I will. No, don't say it. Don't say it. Don't do it.
Cheers, people.
Oh. Anyway, do you want to start, sir?
No, you start this time.
Oh, crap. And by this time, he means we went for a walk in the forest, and then we tried to do it there. And my YouTube decided to,
That's fine.
You're confusing me, man. Screw up. So we've been talking 20 minutes to an empty social media, which is why I went all way up about this one. Okay.
Excuse me, we're trying to work here.
Excuse you, my throat's trying to get better here. Meh. Okay. So this is kind of a 2-in-1 scripture, and I don't know where it is in the Bible.
Which one?
Trust God and lean not on your own understanding. Right,
Proverbs
that
3.
was also your Bible verse. This one we probably both have, but you'll tell his version of it. That trust God, lean not on your own understanding. Now, this has been a Bible verse. That's pretty much. That is very important for me because it's helped me when, as those that follow my YouTube and Michael's TikTok knows, Michael is not normal. In not the neurodivergent way, in the mentally sick way. He has a personality disorder. So he's not, like, easy to live with at all. And his logic doesn't even exist of what I understand. That's of course my own evaluation, not the general one. Anyway, so shut up. I don't like you right now. Stop it! Shush up. Too funny. So that would trust God and lean on your own understanding. I think my brain's starting to go cuckoo.
Started?
I'm never. This is gonna be a 2-hour video if we continue like this.
Hopefully, we're entertaining.
Anyway, whenever something difficult comes and I either don't understand him or want to strangle him or basically anything negative in our relationship, that would taking a step back. And instead of like wanting to punch him or to say, hey, I'm right, you're wrong, or anything, whether it's stereotypical or just stupid or prideful, that you take a step back. And by that, I mean, like, stop saying more. Stop. If you were like, oh, I just want to say one more thing, stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. Back away and go in and focus on yourself, on what you can do better if you understand the whole thing, and then talk to God about it. Trust God in it, because remember, we ourselves are limited in our own understanding, but God is not. He knows what is going on, everything with me and everything with Michael. So stepping back and focusing on my relationship with God and how I am as a wife, as a biblical wife, instead of trying to punch him verbally and physically and everything. That thing with, we have to trust God, that trust that God can deal with the thing. If you feel like there's a misunderstanding, something like that. Also, that with pride, that remember, what do you call it? That you're not always right. That thing with, okay, is this misunderstanding because I'm wrong or he's wrong? And in a sense, maybe none of you's wrong. And that's where it goes back to that with go to God. He can tell you, he can give you the signals of actually you need to, or they need to, or both. So trust God in that. Where it comes to the second Bible verse, I have no idea where it is. Where it's put God first and everything else will come. And this one I've also used a lot in my study life the last year. But that thing with whenever anything's difficult in life comes, that stop focusing on how I feel, stop focusing on how he feels, but go to God, read the Bible. What does the Bible say about this situation? What does it say about my feelings? And if everything else fails, sit down and pray and talk to God. Put God first and everything else comes. And this is interesting because it's not just a way of life. It's a promise God is giving us that as soon as you, or as long as you've put him first, before your relationships, before self-loving, before anything, put God first, he said, I will give you all things after that you need as long as you put me first. He's promising us that. And God's not exactly one to go back out of his promises. 1 second. What's that? What are you doing?
Wi-Fi's being stupid, so I went off Wi-Fi.
Will you take one? Because I need to not talk for a bit.
Well, considering you already took my first one.
Well, you might have your ways of how you've done it, so just continue with your first one.
Well, I pretty much fit with what you said, so I'm gonna go with the second one. Langt work.
This is why I'm drinking.
Nå, den der? Ja, det er det. Nope, that's not that one. Which one was that again? Den der god se.
I find it funny how the first two verses we both have is literally the same ones.
That's because I can't. I gotta start looking at Matthew when it's Paula writing in Ephesians.
The fact that you just said that just shows how much you know about the Bible compared to me, so shush.
What do you mean?
I don't have no idea about that stuff. That's why I use Google search half the time and then I have my Bible app search. And then you're like, of course it's not in here, it's in there. And I'm like, no, of course, from my side. I just go wherever the search takes me until I find what I want.
Okay. Oh, yeah. One of them, the second one that I've used a lot, especially lately over the last couple of years, is Ephesians 5, 24 to 26, where it goes, now as the church submits to Christ, so also wives should submit everything to their husbands.
In everything.
I did say that. Submitting everything to their husbands. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sanctify her, having cleansed her by the washing water with the word. So for me, what that
Say it a bit backwards, otherwise mine can't see the beginning half face.
happens.
Doesn't help. There we go.
Says Miss Half Face.
Miss? On the 9th anniversary.
You done with commenting?
Probably not.
I figured. Anyway, so one thing that has also taught me is that as the head of the household, even though there are some things I can't do, like have it on the work, even though I've tried a few times, I still gotta be the head of the household, which means that the big decisions that influence the whole household still lays on me. The so-called, I would say, smaller everyday things, management is more on Mariana because she's the more functional one of us two, for lack of a better term.
I gotta correct you on this is your version, not mine.
Yeah. But it still means that I have to step it up and focus on being clear enough to that, hey, I might not need the small everyday decisions. Thanks, David. But I still gotta make sure that I can be the head of my household.
Oh,
when it really matters. Whether that is for safety, whether that is for financial, whether that is for location as well.
You do look at mine as well.
Sometimes. Those things still comes down to me. To be the one that I kind of have the final say. It's not that if Mariana says something totally different, I go, nope, it's my decision, it's my choice. You just go with it. Please. It's not like that. It's more like, okay, how can I make sure that the decisions that we make that impacts the whole household benefits both of us equally to what we want, whether or not one of us might be a little brain foggy, which does tend to happen every now and then.
Me today. The whole today.
Exactly. Mrs. Halfface.
Oh, sorry. I'm just listening and waiting.
So, yes,
Ignores
I am the top of the hierarchy. I am the top of the hierarchy just below God in this household. But that also gives me certain responsibilities that I need to, even with my condition, that I need to be better at. And that has really, it's really giving me a new perspective of, okay, what do I need to make sure that I have both the physical and the mental energy enough to do. And they don't. They explain two different times of the scenario, not the same scenario.
Anyway, not the point of the video.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was my take on that one.
Well, that is because I almost have the same. Because I'm not like Michael. I know where it says it in the Bible. I just know it does. So, in my own words, I wrote the hierarchy. The man leads the household. The woman's the manager. Men leads. Sounds familiar? And for me, is that I found it because we go to street church where we talk to a lot of women. There's TikTok where I hear a lot of arguments because I'm not on TikTok myself. And then there's also on social media, what do you call it, like YouTube and that, where I also hear people talking about that it's sexist or like how dare men do blah, 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 blah. And that's because what I've learned is we're mixing up the world we're living in, their logic, with the spiritual world we're living in, which the Bible is made of. The Bible is about the spiritual. If it wasn't, then actually that would be a freaky one. But so when it says, husbands love your wife as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her, that he might sacrifice her, so on, so on, so on, and then the church submits to Christ. Now, one thing we actually talked about earlier today was that it says the church submit to Christ. It doesn't say church love Christ. And if you go in 1 Corinthians 13, it literally describes the definition of love. Now, this shows that thing with Jesus literally saying to whoever's writing that part of it, Paul is saying that thing with husbands, love your wife, honor her, respect her, be patient with her, die for her. Literally die for her. They're saying that. Now, why would you want to die for someone that you go around and say, yo, bitch, do what I say in that? That's not love. I mean, God showed love in that he gave us free will. God is love, and with love, he gave us free will when he created us. So with that, that would equal that, yes, the man is the leader of the household after God.
Yep.
But the difference is, if you do it pure spiritual marriage focus with the Bible, it's actually saying, well, you go respect, husband go respect the wife. Remember that your body's not your own, but it's your wife's body. Your wife's body is your body, not her own too. So also there is a teamwork. So this whole thing about, okay, well, committing myself to my husband and submitting myself to my husband, then I have no free will, is utterly worldly bullshit. And that's also one thing that's helped me go through that with, we gotta watch out how much social media, funny enough that I'm on here, I know, ironic, influence us to these different things. Wait, is that Tanya from school? Ha! Yeah, it is. Now you have for coach. Anyway.
Case in point.
Anyway, so what does this with the marriage do? Well, like Michael said, with that he's the leader of the household after God, and then me. I'm still the manager of the household, and God has also made that men naturally, our little fighters, our little warriors, and that we women, we are so good at managing. It's come natural to us for thousands of years now. It just comes. So why would we go for something that's not natural? Does that mean I can't always fight his fights, or what do you call it, the way he does? No. But it does, and
Take a breather.
no, it's more the coffee again.
Mm.
Basically, it's also that thing with love and trust each other and honor and respect each other. Like Michael wouldn't go and say things, or definitely the more he works towards being a biblical husband, would not go and make decisions on things that would hurt me, because that is not Christ loving the church. That is Christ killing the church, and Christ doesn't kill the church; he loves the church. So we gotta learn that thing with understanding human world compared to the spiritual world. And if we're in doubt, don't look at the human world, look at the spiritual world, or as I would do, look up what the Bible says.
Yeah.
Now I need to drink again. Oh. Okay, next one. Can you look up Isaiah 43, 18 to 19? Okay, let's just see.
Tony, she just finished being a student. Sort of.
Guys, not answering any questions really on this one, and also not any that's like very Americanized questions or racial questions. Anyway, so Isaiah 43, 18 to 19. Remember. Oh wait. Yeah. Remember not the former things, but consider the things of old, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?
And just for you people who might be wondering, we set it up like this, but the way I've set up my office now is that I also have a screen right here where we have the Bible verses on.
Oh, yeah. And because I was blurring my head, I just decided to write it on paper, the Bible verses that I had. So, anyway,
Thanks for the follow.
A lot of times in social groups, I hear how especially women criticize their husbands. Or they say about how things have been in the past. And frankly, I want to punch their faces. Because I'm like, what's that going to help? You're going to get the same frustration as you did before. It's not changing anything. It's not helping anything or anything like that. It's utter. Oh, nice, I hit. It's utter bullshit. So this one kind of hit with remember not the former things, nor consider the things of old. Now it can sound like, oh Mariana, you sound so holy and so good. Well, remember these Bible verses what's helped me in marriage. This is not how I've always been in marriage. And this is one of them because I have been one to bring up way too many times what he screwed up. And another thing we gotta remember is when we bring up what others screw up and mention it again, we're the ones screwing up. Because Jesus even says he takes our sin and then he forgets it all. It's all our sins are forgotten that. Now, if we're just talking about how the church and Jesus is and that, then us reminding each other every single day about each other's sins of the things we made of mistakes and we're human is really a waste of time in life. I mean, come on. It's like, move on. And then that thing with, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? That way we all make mistakes. Stop treading in it. Because if you keep on focusing on others' mistakes, then you are sinning yourself, pointing things out too much. But also that with, instead of focusing in the past, we got to remember there's a future. God is making a future. So whether your husband or your wife has been unfaithful, is a gambler, has killed someone, what those are more extreme ones, but that's just to get the point across. Those kind of things. We got to remember that the past is of a past person of us. And that if they really are in Christ, they will try to change. But that's between them and Christ. You can pray for them, but it's between them and Christ. So don't bring up the past like that. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to also come to the
Yeah.
Seriously, Carl, give me a break.
That's what I've been thinking for 4 days.
Because we've both made mistakes in the past, and I've screwed up several times, and it took me. Some of the time, it took me years to be able to confess it. But I also knew that because we, in the start, we agreed no secrets between us. That might sound like an easy thing. It's not. But I can say now, at least from my side, there are no secrets. There's nothing anybody can point out about me that she doesn't already know. Good, bad, ugly, great. She knows everything.
Are you done?
Yep.
A comment on that comment is how he says that when other people point at us. Now, especially with social media, it's so important that we remember. It says, remember not the former things, nor consider things of old. We gotta really look after that we don't go around and talking to others about these things. Like, do it to someone you know you can confidentially say things, but they won't go around and talk about it.
Yeah.
Like a parent or a best friend. No, I'm not okay. My throat is killing me. Or a priest or someone. Anyone, just find someone that you and the Holy Spirit is telling you you can trust on this person. But don't go around and talking about the shits that your husband or wife has done. Because you know what that is? That is gossip. And for another day's talk, I'll just say apparently gossip is from the devil. It's the demonic. It's apparently witchcraft or something. But like I said, another day.
She has a cold. That's all.
I have weather is stupid. Okay, Ephesians 6:12.
Going back to what I was on for.
Are we done?
Definitely.
Don't say that when I'm drinking.
I didn't look.
The respect in this house.
I'm sorry, what bullshit?
Okay.
Nå, hun har bare en forkølelse. Starting up there. With emotions.
Okay. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the cosmic powers over this present darkness, against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly places. Now, why would I choose this? Because Michael's not exactly a demon. Well, it's simple, because we gotta remember, when we have fights and we argue, or we think we're right, which is pride, or anything like that, we gotta remember that I'm not fighting against this. I'm fighting against the spiritual world. So, like, if you feel like suddenly something's changed in the personality of the other person, it's often that thing with it's actually a spiritual attack and it's not the person themselves. So that thing with remember who you're fighting out. We're not fighting this world. We're not fighting the people. We're fighting the spiritual, the unseen world. You startled me there. The unseen world. You.
Hey?
Anyway, focus on this. We won't talk about anything else than this, guys. Anyway, 1 John 4:18, before people get carried away and you become silly. Or more silly, should I say.
I was just about to say, you do know who you're talking to, right?
Now,
1 John what?
4:18. I hope. What was this I've written down? Oh yeah, for there is no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear. For fear has to do with punishment, and whoever fears has not been perfected in love. Oh, that was love breath. Oh, that was a long sentence.
You can also ask me to read them up.
Alright, but then I have to think about that. Duh. Anyway, to not be quoting Billie Eilish, but anyway. Where was I? 18. You're distracting me.
That's
We are married. We love each other. We have loved each other for a long time. And then we gotta remember that when things get difficult, what is the definition of love? Now, in 1 Corinthians 13, it explains what I would call, in my own personal faith, the general parts of love. What love in basic, down to the bone is. But within that, then there's no fear love. I shouldn't fear Michael, and I shouldn't fear God if I love them. I know this sounds maybe weird because some people might have that a bit uncomfortability, but we gotta remember the difference between fear and kind of I don't know what you call it in English, Ehrfurcht, like this respect, honorable fear that you know what they can do. I know Michael could do all sorts to me because he can self-defense and he's not exactly not a knife collector or anything like that, so he can. But because he loves me so much, I trust him in, and I don't fear that he's going to go over and slaughter me tonight or anything like that. So basically, I'm struggling myself talking. Basically, that when it's about love, we gotta remember that there shouldn't be any fear. Now, these days, how have I done that? Well, the only thing that I basically fear with Michael is A, when we have a big fight, will he go out and accidentally harm himself, because that happens? Or B, will he, unfortunately, in the depression, will he listen too much to the lies and unfortunately not be here anymore? That are some of the two biggest fears I've had for years because of his situation.
Fast comment on that one.
Yes,
Well, you stop choking yourself. In the start of our relationship, on the college that we met, there were legitimately people who were afraid of me and did warn her about me. I'm guessing it's because they were afraid on her behalf that I would be some kind of psycho.
They failed miserably.
Yeah, but enough, all their relationships failed. But
anyway,
yeah,
let's
so
gossip about it.
but yeah, so the fear and warning has come from other people on Mariana's behalf. Funny enough, not from my people. They different
They're
story.
too used to you.
But so yeah, the physical fear were then the start, just not from her, which I am very grateful for, but from people who were concerned for her. Yeah.
But so that I have husky sniffing my knee. Hi.
He does that.
Hi. Speak. Speak. So I know you're here. It took you long enough. That was like 3 commands before you listened. Okay, so basically, that with love compared to fear and now we gotta remember we made a choice in love, and that we love this person. So what does that mean? That means we respect them, we honor them, we do not fear them. Now we might think, but what if I do have a big fear? Like, what if they are a point with violence towards me, but they've gone away from that fully or something like that? And then that's why I'm saying, then you pray for them, you pray for yourselves, you pray for the relationship, and you try and help them without forcing them, because force is not love, to get closer to God. But so that balance, if that makes sense. Romans 15:13. You may read this one out loud before I kill myself, apparently, because I think I keep on tracking, so it feels like I'm going to throw up.
You said 15?
Yes.
What verse?
It's happened. Okay.
Hey Matthew, yeah, 9 years. So
What's that mean?
dead ass.
Why is there H in it?
Because TikTok bullshit.
Oh, one of those misspelled bullshits. Okay, I get it.
So, Romans 15, verse 13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope.
Now, back to all that with well, that was jumpy. That's because I moved. Fear and not love and all these things. basically that with the focus on myself. That whenever I feel something is troubling or anything, I gotta remember that whenever I'm anxious, whenever I'm fearful, whenever I'm nervous, this is not stuff from God. This is stuff from the devil. The devil's trying to make me insecure about my husband, if he loves me, about how the different things go. And that with focusing on that, as long as I focus on God, God does not fill me with anxiousness. He does not fill me with doubt. He fills me with hope for the future. Fills me with joy and peace because my focus is in him, not in my husband. If my emotions were according to my husband, I would be screwed as well. But my focus should be in God, and that's how I. Even mute that or something because I keep getting distracted by those things. What was I saying? That thing with that when we lean on God and the Holy Spirit, they will give us this hope and this peace and this joy that the earth, the world can't give us, and our husbands and wives can't give us that, but to help settle us in the situation because we have Him as our rock, as our cornerstone to lean on. And that will help where I was fearful about Michael, Michael, for example, ending his life or something like that, where I had to then remind myself and just shake it out of my head and say, no, devil, you will not give me this anxiousness. You will not give me this fear. I will trust that God, He has His hand around him and He will help. You know you can mute it, right?
Yes.
But so that thing was physically, or what do you call it, consciously saying, I will not allow these thoughts of anxiousness or fear or something to control myself and my family because that is not what God has given me. He's given me joy, peace, and hope. So I stay in that, no matter how bad the situation is. As long as there's just a bit of hope and faith and joy and peace from God, and we know there is, and we continue reading the Bible for keep on singing the songs about that, we know no matter what, we'll get through because God's got this. I don't got this. I'm just human. God's got this. So lean on Him. Focus on Him where He will give us these things. Okay. We're down to 3 more. Philippians 4:11-13. I apologize for the loudness.
Not that I'm speaking of being in need, for I have learned in whatever situation I am to be content. I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need.
Oh, that's one, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And then the 13?
No. Yeah, I can do all things through Him who strengthens me.
Amen. And this one I find important because we have been where we've been very poor with money and very poor with health. I've been sick for 6 years, where it included bed resting, memory loss, and partial paralyzation. Michael has been mentally doomed the last few years in a worldly sense. And so this one is a focus that is recently something I noticed that I've gotten better, like I talked about earlier, with not focusing on my own emotions, Michael's emotions, the world's emotions, social media, news, bibbly bobbly bops, and so on. But that thing with focusing on being, what was it, content? Content? Content?
Yeah, to be content.
Content. Okay, it just sounds weird in my Danish English ears. To be content in my situation because God's got me. And that lesson, and you're thinking, well, how are you like that? And that, again, like before, you have to sometimes even physically. This reminds me of the war room scene where she physically shouts in her house, "Devil, get out of here! You do not belong here." Such a strong one. Just the thought of it makes me cry and such. But that thing with just as soon as we feel, oh, we don't have enough money. Oh no, my health is getting worse. You know what? You got power in Jesus to say a lot of things, or to command these things out. And that thing was saying to myself, No, I will not start being fearful about finance. God's got me. No, I will not start stressing about tomorrow because I can't do more tomorrow. Tomorrow's not there yet, but God's already in there. So I'll focus on God, focus on that He has me and He gives me that peace in that, and focus on that in my situation, I have the best thing. I have God, and God is all I need. So I don't need to worry about how much money, how much food, how much tools, equipment, stuff in the house I have, because in my situation, no matter where I am in the worldly sense, I have God.
Yeah.
No. Ephesians 4:20. I'm glad we're soon done with this because my throat is killing me. And my sleeping medicine should be affecting me now. So that's going to be fun.
Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouth, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear.
This is basically what I said earlier about gossip, but also that with mentioning past. Now, Michael said he screwed up in his past, and talking about that would take years to explain it. But that doesn't mean I haven't screwed up. I screwed up basically the first year of our marriage, especially, which you can hear about in my playlist on YouTube of wedding anniversaries, where I literally talk about how I screwed up the first year of marriage as a wife. And by screwing up, I'm focusing on that. A perfect wife is, I think it's Ephesians 31 or something like that. I don't know. Basically, what a wife should be according to the Bible. That is what my mirror, my focus is. But so that thing with both focusing too much on our own past of mistakes when we're starting to learn from them and not do them, but also mentioning both others' mistakes, like every day saying to Michael, you did that 2 years ago and 5 years ago and 10 days ago, blah, 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 blah. No, because I'm putting salt in a wound that should be healed by now. Yeah. It's like, it's done with, moving on. Like, come on, if God did it, you try and be like Jesus. Forget, forgive, continue on the things. Yes, some things might be hard, but don't put salt in the wound in that. And also that don't start talking to others about it. Don't do the gossiping thing. That's also really, really important. But so, yeah, what was it? Yeah. Don't let corrupting talk come out of your mouths. And talking about other people's and your own mistakes too much of that, and not in a way of teaching others, but just to kind of complain or just say, oh, well, this person isn't perfect or something, which basically no one is. That is basically, yeah, corrupt talk. Don't let it happen. Yeah. 1 Corinthians 7:4. Sorry, yeah.
Also, one thing I want to say that. Seriously.
That's because I stopped talking and then I go.
Rocky, read the room. One thing I've also seen is that being able to tell your partner your mistakes, that as one in a relationship, you did something you shouldn't have done. Not only is that a huge sign to your wife that you trust her, but it's also a sign to her that, hey, I trust you enough that I'm gonna open myself up completely. No walls, no boundaries, no nothing. You're gonna see everything I am, good, bad, ugly, great, the whole thing. And then how you both deal with it afterwards will also show what kind of relationship you're in. Like, when I admit my mistakes, Marianne could easily have used it as a manipulation technique, whatever you want to call it. But she didn't. And that also shows that she knows that we're flawed. We make mistakes. We both have. but we still keep on fighting. We still keep on, hey, we love each other. We're going to go through this. We're going to get through it. It's not easy. Nobody said it would be. Anybody who says the marriage is easy is full of shit. But the thing is, when you have God in the center, everything becomes worth it.
It's funny you should say that because it actually made me think of, for those of you that don't know, I write songs. I'm a songwriter. And I've written a lot of songs about our very difficult marriage. And one of them, then I believe the bridge, it goes, with God and love on my side, nothing I can't do. Okay. 1 Corinthians 7:4. Did you find that yet?
No.
I'm thinking you up for it then after this one. Then, if anyone has any marital questions, I can ask. 7:4.
Breathe.
I'm not halfway, and then I just started laughing.
For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does.
Yeah, so basically what I just earlier said. And now a lot of people will see this negative and be like, how can they control my body? It's my body. No, it's not. First of all, God gave you your body. You have not had anything to do with giving yourself your body. Even nothing. God and then maybe your parents. But other than that, then no, it's not your body. Full stop kind of thing. So no. But with marriage... Sorry if that was loud. I could see that. I mean, then it becomes each other's bodies. Yeah. So that's also one thing that was very interesting for me because you hear that stereotypical with women always or never want sex, men always want sex. When they do on basically any and every story you can think of on both social media, but not just social media, also in maybe your friend circles. Yeah. Watch out for that. And I thought that was kind of funny because I thought about the worldly, the social media, the social circle version of, for example, sex and that for many years. And only the last few years where we got, especially Michael got better at knowing the Bible and that, where we actually learned about this, that it's not about I'm giving my body to him or vice versa when it's something sexual or even just general marriage. But it's also that thing with, as soon as I said yes to him, as soon as I chose him and we got married, his body is mine, my body is his.
Yeah.
But Bible also says that our body is a temple and we gotta look after it too. So we also gotta remember, like Michael said that with he's the leader of the household because he's a man. And I'm like, well, he also knows that, for example, when I've been crashing out with studying that, instead of him just like, pull your shit together, woman, you chose this way, you can do better than that, whip, blah, blah, blah. He's like, you know what? You need food, you drink, when did you last drink? And I probably have no idea what that was. Then he's like, give me a minute. He goes out and he buys us snacks, he buys drink and that, and he's like, you go in, you sleep for now because you sound like a clueless, headless chicken. Kind of thing.
That happened more than once.
That's like way too often for every month.
Yeah.
So that thing with looking after each other, and I totally forgot what I was reading right now. Oh, right, it was the commitment thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And how he also says that with that the truth, and I know his weakest and his everything, he knows mine. Well, a lot of people focus on that sex is basically physically getting naked together, but marriage in itself is being naked together in all sense of the word naked. Like, he knows what's on my mind, and I have very close relationships with a lot of different people. I feel like I can be open. But even though his mind is not at all as my logic, and he's not neurodivergent and so on, then I still feel the safest with him because he respects it. Even though he doesn't always understand, he respects and he honors it, and he even knows what things I need compared to a lot of others, so he focuses on that. And those kind of things is that nakedness of it. And the same thing that I know, for example, when he's having a breakdown, I should not go and hug him because that does not go well with him. But when I'm having a breakdown, I can just swing open his office door with teary eyes and be like, ah, and he gives me a hug.
Yeah.
And that thing with knowing each other's nakedness, the mentalness, the physical nakedness, every single part of it is also important. But for that, we gotta respect each other and honor each other and love each other. Yeah.
One situation I actually want to bring up with that. That also shows that how well she knows me, because I have a problem with my back. Every now and again, I get an immense pain in my back that I've been to a physical therapist. He can't see anything wrong. Typical. Thanks, Mark. You too. I've been to the doctor. Nothing there. Even when I sit right, that's actually also why I got a specific chair, a gaming chair that supports my back, because I have a very crooked back. Anyways, I've tried that. Last time I had that pain, I couldn't lay in bed. I couldn't sit down. And actually, out in our hallway, I just went out and I collapsed on the floor. Now, many people will go in panic and like, okay, what do I do? Where Mariana actually, um, she pretty much just had a talk with me like, okay, what do I think I need? And then she came with a pillow so that I could lay my head right.
I had a duvet because you were getting cold.
Actually, just blanket because the duvet was too hot. But also after she put a specific cream, because anybody who knows me knows that I hate cream. But this one on my back, and it did that I knocked out for like 2 hours. But when I woke up, I had both a headache and I had so much nausea that I also ended up laying out in the bathroom for several hours. And it was like I couldn't eat anything, so she goes, okay. Then it was a trip to McDonald's. Easiest, fastest food that I could take my time in eating because I was so painful. But I didn't have to ask. I just said, I have no appetite right now, but I need to get something down. I know that about myself. I need to get something down because I haven't eaten in like 6 hours. I've been knocked out for 2 to 4 hours. But I didn't have to say that in that much. Just that I don't have appetite. So she went, okay. Then she was gone for like 20 minutes, came back, McDonald's, laid it right next to me so I could just take it whenever I was capable of it. And that's it. And for me, when I have those kind of pains where I can't explain the pain, because I don't even know what hurts, I just can feel like a sharp hot rod down my spine. I was waiting to see if you're going to get a reaction, because sometimes you do that. You didn't.
Just birthday, you trapped in that. I'm just kind of half zoned out right now.
But so that's
also interesting how well you remember that story, because I remember it slightly different. But only like 10% different.
But yeah, so.
Hola.
Knowing that. ¿Cómo estás? Knowing. Yeah.
That was very weirdly said.
Yeah, probably. But knowing that I don't have to explain my situation, she can see it on me.
And likewise, she can see when I'm
exactly. It's that thing about being able to know each other so well that sometimes words aren't necessary. The way our body speaks for itself is all it takes.
One thing I really like is like when I stand into his office and I just look at him, or barely look at him, and he's like, go to bed, or you need a hug, or something like that, whatever, depending on how I feel. And it's like, girl, don't push yourself, you push yourself. Whatever you're doing, just stop.
Yeah.
And likewise, when he suddenly stands in front of my studio office door thing, and I'm like, nap time? Because he almost always does that. He goes past and just stands there. Yeah. So, yeah, that thing with understanding each other, but respecting each other and honoring each other in what that person needs. And it's interesting because, were you done?
With that one, Yes, but you actually made me think about another thing.
Because I had something. We talk a lot about this with equalism. Now, the world talks a lot about equalism in a very bullshitty way. And as I say to people, there's two kind of equalism. There's the one that you give both the children shoes. But there's also the other equalism where you might give the one shoes because they need it, and the other one gloves because they don't have any gloves. And that's a two different different equalism. People focus too much on the first one, give them everyone the same exact thing for necessities. But we need to focus on the second one. We need to focus on the second one of that with when I need shoes, doesn't mean that Michael needs shoes. He might need gloves. He might need a hat. And that equalism there with how to deal with each other and also explain it to others. Like, especially with Michael's personality disorder, how we are talking to others about and how I'm not just learning to respect how he is with different things compared to what we've done the many years of things, like with his sleep and that, but also how to explain to others in another logic and respect the different people in that sense.
Guys, well, I'm not ready to
Oh dear.
so nobody comes up.
But I was thinking, oh right, you had something.
Yeah, because I was actually reminded about yesterday, where you had been caught up in your writing.
Yeah, I'm writing a book. Well, okay, a few books.
I think this one's like 4.
Well, right now, like, actively, probably 3. Yeah.
So I come. It's like 9 o'clock in the evening.
I passed my bedtime. Oops. Yeah, I just realized what time it is. Crap. Yeah, hi.
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 And I go over and I see him sitting by a computer writing, and I go, "When did you last eat and drink?" She goes, 6 hours ago. And I go, "In 20 minutes, you get off your ass and you go eat and drink."
Apparently writing a story in 20 minutes, like an hour, 2 hours feels like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I had to start putting 20-minute alarms on just to feel the time difference.
I even said to her, "You put on an alarm, 20 minutes, and I'll watch you put it on." Because I know that if she goes, "Nah, I'm gonna go in 20 minutes. Yeah, then 2 hours later, she still hasn't done shit.
Oh, that's not true. I would have written.
I'm really gonna flick you right now.
Dan, I'm really on low pain tolerance right now.
But yeah, so that was me having to take over her reasonability because that one was flushed down the toilet at that point. I go, "Honey, you haven't eaten or drunk anything in like 6 hours. You're gonna crash." And on the phone way. I was wondering if you're gonna get any reaction on that one. So yeah. And then when the time was up, she actually came over to my door.
Shush!
Woof!
Ah, it's right in my ear, dude! Oh my goodness.
And she goes, "Look!" And I go, "Ding-ding-ding," like the alarm had gone off.
Max, come here! Max! Come here, you big puppy. Yeah, let's show the people your cute face.
But yeah, so that was a recent thing about that. Even though sometimes we kind of lose track of time and reasonability, we still know each other well enough that, okay, sometimes one of us has to take over. She's done that too with me, like,
oh yeah, wife ordered.
Yeah, we actually call that in a way where we know that, okay, don't ask too many questions because the other one knows the things already. We go, okay, she's wife for me to eat, drink, painkiller, go to sleep. Although that one she does list now.
You've done best to listen to your buddy.
That I have. When it actually wants to be listened to. But yeah, so it. But one thing that's also important to understand is that this wasn't a short process to learn. This took years. Like, we met in 2014.
And like I said, the first year of marriage, I messed up as a wife. Maybe
Yes.
not know how everyone would define it, but how the Bible, I
Yeah.
believe, and definitely how I myself would say, yeah.
Yeah. But we learned that okay, screw ups happens. That's part of life. Expecting a perfect marriage, you're doomed from the beginning. But how you grow in those screw ups, how you learn to okay, can we do this better? Maybe not right now, but maybe in the future with a few tweaks and here and there. Or like, okay, one thing we screwed up, we gotta put that on hold, put that in baggage, and then we focus on something else first, and then we get that thing done.
It's kind of like buying a house. The most important is to look for something that has a good foundation.
Yes.
Because you can't buy a dream house, but you can build a dream house from a good foundation house. Same with a marriage. You can't just marry into a dream marriage thing, a perfect marriage. It's not going to happen. But you can find a yes, you can. You can have a marriage that is built on a strong foundation. With us, it is God.
Yeah.
God the trio. And from that build what you would call a perfect marriage, like dream marriage. Like I know when people talk about like women and men if they're good enough and that, and I'm like to people, like yeah, there's a lot of faults Michael has and difficulties, and there's unfortunately a lot of things he can't do that both of us wish he could do it.
Oh yeah.
But the focus on would I marry him again or or as they were, I wouldn't say. I would simply say Michael's not a perfect man, but he's my perfect man. He's not perfect as in a human, as in a Christian man, but the man that I needed in my life, there he's perfect for. And that's because God told me that he was the one for me. God knew what he had in his heart and his little foundation. And then everything else, the dream husband thing was just a built on we've had to do the last many years, and we'll continue the many next years.
Like I remember one of the things that
Just seconds. Excuse me. Okay, you may continue.
I remember one of the things in the start. I really had to knock down a few walls of hers. Was many times when I asked her a question about something where I wanted her opinion, she couldn't give me hers. She could give me what her parents would say, what our friends would say, and I go, honey, screw that. I want to hear your opinion. And the amount of times where I had to dig in for going, what do you think? What do you say?
And just to make it clear, since this is on live on social media, it's not because any of them forced me to have an opinion or anything. It wasn't anything like that. It's simply because I had a period of time when I was young, and we did marry young according to many people, that I took other people's opinions as my own and idolized people. One of the many mistakes I've done as a human being, and I've learned from it and still learning from it and spotting the different signs.
Yes.
But so it was simply that.
But I think we've gone on long enough. I think we're gonna stop.
Meaning it's
Don't do it. Bible says don't do it.
Så er der også misforstået noget. For those who are following, one of the comments says about love before marriage, or I guess they mean sex before marriage.
Yeah.
But if you think of sex before marriage, you don't understand the definition of sex or marriage.
Yeah.
Because in its definition, God gave us marriage. And marriage in itself says when a man leaves his father and mother and becomes one with a woman. Now, when does he do that? I can only think of one time he pretty much does that. Sex.
Yep.
So sex is marriage. There is a ceremony of the whole thing, and I believe in Old Testament with Moses or someone, you can find video of a preacher or someone talking about it. It talks about the whole ceremony and why it's important. But marriage and sex in itself cannot not go together. It's just a human, the world, the logic is, oh, you can have sex without marriage. But no, you can't. You can't do that. You cannot go and share your body with someone else and then go away from them and then someone else again and again. You're going to run out of body in a sense like that. So, no.
I can see on you that we stop.
My throat is killing me.
Ja. Kommer man så ikke i himlen? Det er ikke noget med det at gøre. Der er kun en vej til himlen, det er gennem Jesus.
It's not about what you do to come to heaven. It's about what's in your heart. If you choose Jesus as your savior and believe in everything he said, then yeah. But if you focus on how good you are or how many sins, then none of us will ever come to heaven because none of us are sinless.
Yep. You can't earn your way into heaven. That's the biggest illusion that many religions have claimed, that you can earn your way into heaven. That you can't, because you'll never be good enough. Because the standard for heaven is 100% perfection. No human on earth has been that.
Except for Jesus.
Yeah, but he was God.
But he was also, it said he's full God and full human.
Yes.
So he was full human, and he was perfect. He was the only perfect one. If he wasn't perfect, he couldn't have died and taken all our sins. Like Narnia. Like Aslan and Narnia.
So with all that said, we gotta stop because her body says stop.
Yeah, the leader has spoken because the other one's choking on herself. I'm gonna go and lay and watch YouTube.
So, thank you guys for joining. Thank you for the people who have given me a follow, which I think was mostly because of you. That was actually people who know you.
Oh, that was loud.
Yeah, right in my face.
That echoed right in my ear.
Yeah, exactly. John 3:16, yeah.
Thank you guys.
And also John 14:6. But yeah, thank you guys. God bless you guys. And thank you for your support. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, and 9 years marriage now. Hopefully, the rest of our lives.
That time went shit fast.
Yes, it did. And it will only go fast still because, yeah, clueless with time.
God bless, guys.
Bye. Adios, amigos.